Good day. I wanted to show you this. This is, let's see if I can bring it in close enough so I can get focused. Of course, it's trying to focus on me. Let's see if I can get it to focus over here. No, it's still going on my face. I'll look behind it and then, there we go. Okay, this is, a good day, everyone. This is a first-class relic. I was given these by the bishop who ordained me, and this one is Saint Patrici EPC. So I have to find out exactly, well, obviously it's either Saint Patrick or Saint Patricia. I'll have to do some research on that to find out, but I have a few of them there, and it's really interesting and amazing, the ones that I have. So I have St. John of the Cross, St. Margaret Mary Alacoque, and some others. And I think actually CW did a little bit of research on Cosmos and Damien. I have one of those. Apparently there's a few Cosmos and Damiens throughout history, so I'm not sure if that one is authentic or not. However, we treat them as if they are because they've been well cared for and set up like that. And I believe many of these came from sisters who wanted to preserve the faith when the Novus Ordo came into existence, and they were trashing buildings and whatnot. So if anybody has any of those, treat them with good care. And if they know of somebody who has one and is not treating them with good care, let me know and we'll try and get a hold of it, or get a hold of it and bring it here where it will be taken care of. I'm trying to get those so that each altar for each new priest will have one. So part of an altar for a priest has to contain a first-class relic of one of the saints. So I'm ready for all you priests to be out there. Please get in contact with me. All right, I started late a little bit. I started early yesterday, so it's good that you are flexible as I am. Let's get right into continuing with Saint Catherine of Siena and the bridge that Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum speaks of. Today we're going to talk about the 3 steps and what they mean. And again, please, I want to remind everybody, try not to fall into the drama of the news cycle that's happening now. Create your own Catholic world around you, and you will not be affected. You will be given the grace and the guidance on how to proceed. And honestly, for me personally, I don't participate in any of that because legally I won't get into that now. But our substance and our status, if you will, is Catholic, and just leave it at that. In nomine Dei matronam nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Let us place ourselves in the presence of the Trinitarian Theophany and in Catholic contemplation. Humbly venerate the Trinitarian Theophany. most holy and venerable Trinitarian Theophany, one divine family, I believe that thou art here present. I venerate thee with the deepest humility. I render to thee with my whole heart the homage which is due to thee. O Trinitarian Theophany, relying on thine infinite goodness and promises, I hope to attain the pardon of my sins, the help of thy grace, and life everlasting, through the merits of Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Matronam Nostrae. O Trinitarian Theophany, I love thee above all things with my whole heart and soul, because thou art all good and worthy of all love. I love my neighbor as myself for love of thee, and I forgive all who have injured me and ask pardon of all whom I have injured. Let us thank the Trinitarian Theophany for the many graces that we receive, and offer ourselves and our sufferings up to heaven, and for the souls in purgatory. O Trinitarian Theophany, I most humbly thank thee for all the favors thou hast bestowed upon me to the present moment. It is again thanks to thy bounty that I should live to see this day, and I desire to employ it solely in thy service. I consecrate to thee all my thoughts, words, actions, and sufferings of this day. Sanctify them, that there may be none that is not animated by thy love, or that would not tend to thy greater glory. Let us make a firm resolution to avoid evil and to do good, and let us beg of the Trinitarian Theophany the graces which are necessary to us. O Trinitarian Theophany, thou knowest my weakness, and that I am unable to do anything good without the help of thy grace. Deny me not thy grace, proportionate to my necessities. Give me strength to avoid everything which thou forbiddest, to practice the good which thou hast commanded, and enable me patiently to bear all the trials which it may please thee to send me. O Dea Matronam Nostrae, I place myself under thy protection. I throw myself with confidence into the arms of thy compassion. Be to me, O Mother of Mercy, my refuge in distress, my consolation in suffering, now and at the hour of my death. O most holy Trinitarian Theophany, Dea Matronam Nostrae, Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, I am heartily sorry for having offended thee, and I detest all my sins because I dread the loss of heaven and the pains of hell, but most of all because I have offended thee, my God, who art good and deserving of all my love. I firmly resolve, with the help of thy grace, to confess my sins, to do penance, and to amend my life. How are you doing on that sin that you're overcoming this week? So far, so good. Let's keep it going. And also, I've been a little lacking in my contemplation. So I'm going to try and make another extra effort to find the time to do that. It's very important. Also, lastly, it appears the Trinitarian Theophany does not wish me to or us to have a motorhome at this time. So I will keep you posted. It seems it was more that I wanted one for everybody than the Trinitarian Theophany did for me and for us and whatnot. So I always, if I run into a brick wall, usually, if it's pretty obvious the first time, I will, accept it and go on. This took 3 times for me to hit walls, so at least I didn't get hit by lightning. All right, so we'll continue on with St. Catherine of Siena, a treatise of discretion. Oh, and also, before I forget, I got the request from Michaela McLarnon for her father to pray, have a mass for her father, which I will do on the 27th. If Michaela, if you are listening, could you please put down his last name in the comments section, and then you can, or somehow message me. You can message me at, find my email at ourladyisgod.com. In the left side column, where it says the Latin Mass, In there you can find my email address. Okay. How this bridge has 3 steps, which signify the 3 states of the soul, and how being lifted on high, yet it is not separated from the earth. And how these words are to be understood, quote, if I am lifted up by the earth, I will draw all things unto me, unquote. Then the eternal Trinitarian Theophany, to enamor and excite that soul still more for the salvation of souls, replied to her and said, now remember, she had asked of the Trinitarian Theophany to know who, show her those who cross the bridge that Deum Patrum Spiritus Sanctum is speaking about, the one that he made. So now she wants to know who are those who cross it. And so he answers her, quote, first, as I have shown thee that for which thou didst wish and ask me, I will now explain to thee the nature of this bridge. I have told thee, my daughter, that the bridge reaches from heaven to earth. This is through the union which I have made with man. Now learn that this bridge, my only begotten Son, has 3 steps, of which 2 were made with the wood of the most holy cross, and the 3rd still retains the great bitterness he tasted when he was given gall and vinegar to drink. In these 3 steps you will recognize 3 states of the soul, which I will explain to thee below. The feet of the soul, signifying her affection, are the first step. For the feet carry the body as the affection carries the soul. Wherefore these pierced feet are steps by which thou canst arrive at his side, which manifests to thee the secret of his heart, because the soul, rising on the steps of her affection, commences to taste the love of his heart, gazing into that open heart of my Son, with the eye of the intellect, and finds it consumed with ineffable love. I say consumed because he does not love you for his own profit, because you can be of no profit to him, he being one and the same substance with me. Then the soul is filled with love, seeing herself so much loved. Having passed the 2nd step, the soul reaches out to the 3rd, that is, to the mouth, where she finds peace from the terrible war she has been waging with her sin. On the 1st step, then, lifting her feet from the affections of the earth, the soul strips herself of vice. On the 2nd, she fills herself with love and virtue. And on the 3rd, she tastes peace. So the bridge has 3 steps, in order that climbing past the 1st and the 2nd, you may reach the last, which is lifted on high, so that the water running beneath may not touch it. For in my Son was no venom of sin. This bridge is lifted on high, and yet at the same time joined to the earth. Dost thou know when it was lifted on high? When my Son was lifted up on the wood of the most holy cross, the divine nature remaining joined to the lowliness of the earth of your humanity. For this reason I said to thee that, being lifted on high, he was not lifted out of the earth, for the divine nature is united and kneaded into one substance with it. And there was no one who could go on the bridge until it had been lifted on high. Wherefore he said, Si exaltatus fuero a terra, omnia traham ad me ipsum. That is, if I am lifted up from the earth, I will draw all things to me. My goodness, seeing that in no other way could you be drawn to me, I sent him in order that he should be lifted on high on the wood of the cross, making of it an anvil on which my Son, born of human generation, should be remade, in order to free you from death, and to restore you to the life of grace. Wherefore he drew everything to himself by this means, namely by showing the ineffable love with which I love you, the heart of man being always attracted by love. Greater love, then, I could not show you than to lay down my life for you. Perforce, then, my Son was treated in this way by love, in order that ignorant men should be unable to resist being drawn to me. In very truth, then, my Son said that, being lifted on high, he would draw all things to him. And this is to be understood in two ways. Firstly, that when the heart of man is drawn by the affection of love, as I have said, it is drawn together with all the powers of his soul, that is, with the memory, the intellect, and the will. Now, when these three powers are harmoniously joined together in my name, all the other operations which the man performs, whether in deed or thought, are pleasing, and joined together by the effect of love, because love is lifted on high, following the sorrowful crucified one. So my truth said well, if I am lifted on high, etc., meaning that if the heart and the powers of the soul are drawn to him, all the actions are also drawn to him. Secondly, everything has been created for the service of man, to serve the necessities of rational creatures, and the rational creature has not been made for them, but for me, in order to serve me with all his heart and with all his affection. I want to read that again. Secondly, everything has been created for the service of man, to serve the necessities of rational creatures. And the rational creature has not been made for them, but for me, in order to serve me with all his heart and with all his affection. See then that man being drawn, everything else is drawn with him, because everything else has been made for him. It was therefore necessary that the bridge should be lifted on high and have steps, in order that it might be climbed with greater facility. It's important to understand, and that's the end for today. It's important to understand that last line, because we have this inverted view of nature and animals and things. They were all made for us, not to abuse, obviously, but for our utility. And another reason why there's been so much lies regarding, let's just say, the shape of the earth. It's important to know that we are the center. Okay, the sun is not the center, S-U-N. Okay, the earth is the center, and it's not even, it's not, there's the other theory of there's geocentric theory and heliocentric. One where the earth is the center of the universe, and another where the sun is the center of the universe, and again, one goes around the other. And the geo is more accurate. However, it's there isn't planets and things and whatnot going around it. Okay, it's definitely we're in like this incredibly made system of safety, and it's almost, it's like a little paradise. It really is, when you think about it, in terms of a globe and a bubble, and our life, little tiny specks inside of it. And I'm going to get into even some more of what's underneath and what's in the middle. Okay, because it's very interesting. That's it for now, though. It's enough to chew on. We went over the 6 commandments of the church, and I'll run them by tomorrow again, just all of them, so that we can remember, keep them in our faith, write them down, and practice the virtues, contemplation. It's not easy being Catholic. but yet it is. Deum vobiscum, et quoque apud te, oremus. O Trinitarian Theophany, the Creator and Redeemer of all the faithful, grant to the souls of thy servants and handmaids the remission of all their sins, that they may obtain by loving prayers the forgiveness which they have always desired, who livest and reignest with thee, one Trinitarian Theophany, forever and ever. Suscipe Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum hoc immaculatum hostium, quam ego indignus famulus tuus offeri tibi Deum meum vivum et verum, pro innumerabilibus peccatis et offensionibus et negligentis meis, et pro omnibus circumstantibus, sed pro omnibus fidelibus, catholicorum vivis atque defunctis ut mihi et iris proficiat ad salutem. Deum qui humanae substantiae dignitatem mirabilite condilisi et mirabilius reformasti da nobis spiruius atquae et vini mysterium, eius divinitatis esse consortes qui militatis nostrae, fieri denotis est parteceps, Deum Iesum Christum Filium, qui tecum vivit et reinat in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Offerimus tibi Deum calicem salutaris tuum da peccantis clementium, ut in conspecto divinae majestatis tuae pro nostra totius mundi salute, cum adore suavitatis ascendat. In spiritu humilitatis et in anima contrito suscipiam rate Deum Iesum Christum, et sec fiat sacrificium nostrum in conspectu hodie, ut placeat tibi Deum matronam nostrae, Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Veni sanctificator, Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, et sanctificite plata prosequendo, et accepere hoc sacrificium tuo sancto nomini praeparatum. Suscipe Sancta Trinitas concoblationem cum tibi efferimus amore passiones, resurrectionis et ascensionis, Deum Iesum Christum, et in honorem Deum matronam nostrae, et a Papa Peter Sanctorum et Istorum et omnium Sanctorum, ut illis proficiat ad honorem nobis autem ad salutem, et illi pro nobis intercedere, didinctor in caelis, quorum amorem agimus in telis, fieri in Christum Deum nostrum. Orate, utum eam equestrum sacrificium acceptabile fiat op Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Suscipiat Deum Iesum Christum sacrificium de manibus tuis, et laudem et gloriam nominis sui ad utilitatem quoque nostram totiusque, ecclesiae suae sanctae. Deum vobiscum, quoque apud te, sursum corda, habemus a Deum. Gratias agamus Deum nostrum, dignum et justum est. Te igitur clementissimi Mater et Pater, Deum Materum nostrae, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per Deum Iesum Christum Filium Tuum, Deum nostrae, supplices rogamus ac petimus, uti accepta. Habeas et sanctificas, haec sanctam sacrificium irrivata. In primis quae tibi afferimus, pro ecclesiam tuam sanctam catholicam, quam pacificare custodire, adonare et regere, digneris toto obi terrarum atque catholicae. Memento Deum famulorum caetuorum. We pray for the sick and the suffering. We pray for Katie Gage, Neil and Earl Lively, Maria Josephina Mose, Henry, Barbara, and Benedict Santa Croce, Mark Jr., Mr. Nobody, Amble Tink, the Cantu and Duarte families, Jenalina, Lori, Aaron and family, Maria and the Lineweber family, Michaela and the McLaren family. the Dasko, Nye, Tafur, Began, and Wolf families, and Kendrick families. We pray for Mr. Nobody to receive the funding and strength needed to complete the first Sede Vacantis Catholic Council office in Monastery of Illinois. We pray for an end to all governmental allowance or sanctioning of abortion, transgenderism, transhumanism, child trafficking, child abuse of all kinds, anywhere, place, or time. We pray for the establishment of a Catholic monarchy with a sound Catholic system of labor, human value, and medieval exchange. Now is the time, as their system is collapsing right now. We pray for courageous men to step forward as leaders of this Catholic society, not to wait, but to act. We pray for wisdom on how to prepare natural foods, grow healthy plants and fruits and vegetables. Pray for the elimination of all harmful radiation waves in our air and in our homes. Pray to shut down all gateways and portals, close down CERN permanently, and expose the satanic nature of NASA as well as CERN and the particle accelerators. We ask for the conversion of all sinners trapped in a state of mortal sin, especially the ignorant. We also ask that you destroy the satanic document of Vatican law, that is the Jewish Talmud, that you destroy Rome and the Vatican and recognize the transfer of the authority of the Catholic Church to Portugal. We ask you to release the souls controlled by the demons Lilith and Asmodeus and transfer them and the souls under any Jew or Freemason over to our dominion, that we might be able to help them learn more about Catholicism. Please also continue to block the passage of any so-called pandemic treaty, again, satanic in nature, based on lies, as is most of the entire medical industry. All these things we ask in accordance with the Trinitarian Theophany's holy and divine will. Et omnium circumstantiam quorum tibi fides cognita est et nota devotio, pro quibus tibi offerimus, velqui tibi offrontox sacrificim laudis, pro se suisque omnibus, pro redemptione animarum suarum, pro spe salutis et in calamitatis suae, tibi credum vota sua, aeterno Deum vivo et vero, communicantes et memorum venerantes in primis gloriosae, semper Deum maternam nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et beatorum martyrium tuorum papae, Sancti Petri, et Sancti Lucia, et Sancti Jacinta, et Sancti Francisco, et Sancti Juan Diego, et omnium sanctorum tuorum quorum meritis, praecibusque concedas ut in omnibus protectionis tuae muniamur exilio per inum Christum Deum nostrum, quam oblationem te Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum in omnibus consecratem ac tabellum confecere dignidis ut nobis corpum, et sanguim fiat delictissimi filium tuum Deum Iesum Christum, qui pridie quam pateretur cepit panem in sanctus ac venerabilis manus suas, et elevatis oculis in caelum ate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum suum omnipotentem tibi gratias agens, consecravit, frege didique lumis sudit gens accipite et manducat ex hoc omnes. Hoc est enim corpus meum. Simili modo postquam ceremony est accipiens et hunc prae clarum calicem in sanctus ac venerabilis manus suas identibi gratias agens Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum consecravit, dedique luminis vidicens accipite et bibite ex omnes. hic est enim calic sanguinis mei, mysterium fidei, quae pro nobis et pro multis effundetur in remissione peccatorum. Haec quod est cum feceritis meum facetis. Unde et memoris Deum nos servitui, sed plebs tua sancta justem Christum filium tuum Deum nostrae, tam beatae passiones nec non et in fedis resurrectionis, sed et in caelos gloriosae, ascensionis afferimus prae clare maiestati tuae, de tuis donis ac datis, supra quae propitio ac sereno vutur especeri digneris. Supplices te ragamus Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, iube hic perferit manus tuum, ut quod ex hoc autoris participatione sacrosanctum Deum Filium tuum, corpus et sanguinum sincerimus, omni sanctificatione caelesti et gratia de amor per innum Christum Deum nostrae. We pray for the deceased. We especially pray for Nicole Guy, for whom this Mass is being offered. Ipsistem et omnibum in Christum, quis gentibum locum refugere lucis et paucis ut dolorge est pracamur per eandum Christum Deum nostrum, per quem hic omnia Deum Iesum Christum semper bona creas, sanctificas, vivicas, consecratis et praestas nobis. Per ipsum et cum ipso et in ipso est tibi Deum Matrum omnipotentium unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, omnis honor et gloria. Ave Dea matronam nostrae, gratia plena Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum tecum. Dea matronam nostrae, matram Deum Iesum Christum, misericordia nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Libera nos, quaesimus Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, ab omnibus malis, praeteritis, praesentibus et futuris et intercedente, beata et gloriosa semper Dea matronam nostrae, cum Papa Petrum Sanctorum et omnibus sanctis da propitiis pacem in diebus nostris. Ut opia misericordiae tuae aduiti et peccato, simus semper liberi et ab omni perturbatione securi. Per eandum Deum nostrum, Iesum Christum Filium tuum Deum nostrum, qui tecum vivit et reinat in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per aeternam. Pax Deum Iesum Christum sed semper vobiscum et quoque apote. Haec cum extio et consecratio corporis et sanguinis Deum Iesum Christum fiat accipientibus nobis in ad salutem aeternam. Pax tecum et quoque apote. Deum Iesum Christum, qui ex voluntate Deum matronam nostrae, cobrante Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per mortem tuum unum vivificasti, libera me per hoc sacrosanctum corpus et sanguinum tuum ab omnibus iniquitatibus meis, et universis malis et fragmentuis semper in harare mandatis, et atinum quam separati permittas, qui cum eodem Deum matronam nostrae et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, vivis et regnam aeternam. Perceptio corporis tui Deum Iesum Christum, quod ego indignus sumere, praesimo non mihi proveniat in judicium et condemnationem, sed pro tu pietate, prosit mihi attutamentum, mentis et corporis et ad me delam percipiendam, qui vivis et regnas cum Deum matronam nostrae in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Panem calestim accipiam et nomen Dei meis in Christum invocabo. Dea matronam nostrae non sundinis, ut et meis in tanto de querbos in avaternam mea. Dei meis in Christum non sundinis, ut et meis in tanto de querbos in avaternam mea. Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum non sundinis, ut et meis in tanto de querbos in avaternam mea. Corpus Deum nostrum meis in Christum custodiet anima mea. Quid retribuam Dei meis in Christum pro omnibus quae retribuit mihi? Calicim salutaris accipiam et nomen Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum invocabo. Laudans invocabo Deum matronam nostrae et ab inimicis meis avocero. Sanguis Deum nostrum meis in Christum custodiet anima mea. Corpus Deum nostrum meis in Christum custodiet animam tuum. Quodore sumpsimus Deum meis in Christum puramente capiamus et immunere temperae fit nobis remedium sempiterno. Quid retribuam Deum meis in Christum pro omnibus quae retribuit mihi. Calicem salutaris accipiam et nomen Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum invocado. Laudans invocabo Deum matronam nostrae et ab inimicis meis avocero. Corpus tuum Dei meis in Christum quod semsi et sanguis, quem potavi et heri et visceribus meis appresta, ut in me non remania, scela la macula quem purat sancta refecere sacramenta. Deum vobiscum, et quoque apud te, oremus. May the prayer of thy suppliants profit the souls of thy servants and handmaids, we beseech thee, O Trinitarian Theophany, that thou mayest free them from all sins and make them sharers in thy redemption, who livest and reignest with thee, one Trinitarian Theophany, forever and ever. Deum vobiscum, et quoque apote, ite missa est, Deum gratia. Pace tibi sancta Trinitam, obsequium servitudis meae, et praesta ut sacrificim coroculis tuae, majestatis indinus obturitibus et acceptabile meque et omnibus, proquibus idut obtulis sit miserante perpetuale peccatum Deum nostrum. Sanctificat vos omnipotens Deum, Matronam et Filium et Spiritum Sanctum, Deum Matronam Nostrae, Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, gracias. O my Trinitarian Theophany, I believe, I venerate, I hope, and I love thee. I beg of thee pardon for those who do not believe, do not venerate, do not hope, and do not love thee. Most Holy Trinitarian Theophany, I venerate thee profoundly, and I offer to thee the most precious body, blood, soul, and divinity of Deum Iesum Christum, present here in reparation for the outrages, sacrileges, and indifference by which he himself is offended, and through the infinite merits of his most sacred heart and immaculate heart of Dea Matronam Nostrae, I beg of thee the conversion of poor sinners. In nomine Dei Matronam Nostrae, Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Gracias. So I just wanted to share one quick thing. I know I talk a lot about health and how important it is to have your health. And I just want to tell you that you can do well without prescription medications, okay? I do not take any. I never will unless there's some sort of situation where I'm incapacitated and I'm taken somewhere and I have no control over it. I may, if I'm in severe pain or something like that, I might take something to alleviate the pain for a temporary time. But there's I have no autoimmune prescriptions that I take. And when I got health insurance just recently, life insurance, they go and take the blood test. They were surprised at how healthy I was compared to the rest of the population. Duh. So it can be done, and I encourage anybody out there to learn about it and how you can become drug-free. It's scary, right, that I have to say this, but anyway, please go and sanctify all those who meet. Ignore the world out there and pray for your neighbor. Get to know your neighbor, and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.